There's been a growing demand for heavy trucks as companies change their mode of transporting goods from rail to road. Role players in the industry say rail network services are not what they should be in terms of transporting goods from ports to the mainland and vice versa. The Truckers Association says the significant increase in road transport is driven by a demand for coal for export markets. It says last year alone there was over 500% increase in the quantity of coal transported to harbors by truck.
The mines are the ones that are now, blending quite a lot of coal so that they can be able to, send it to the harbor. And, most of the trucks that we are seeing that are doing quite a lot of congestion at the harbor now are the side tippers truck.
The Association of Automobile Manufacturers of South Africa says the demand for heavy commercial vehicles has been on the rise over the past 3 years. This as companies opt to transport goods by road and also for cross-border activity as goods are moved to other parts of Africa by truck.
We've had some major challenges, in terms of supply of different models into the market. Purely because of challenges that we've had in terms of our supply chain. The semiconductor issue continues to be a very big challenge in terms of meeting all the demand that we see, and also the challenges that we've seen in terms of the geopolitical conflict in Russia and Ukraine has also impacted very directly some of our production lines. And then, of course, we also know that China, for the longest time, has obviously reintroduced restrictions in that market, and many of our local assemblers still get a lot of components from that particular region, from China. And then, of course, lastly, load shedding in South Africa has also impacted very directly component supply, because a lot of our suppliers that are local are not able to produce some of the components on time.
The Road Freight Association says there is a shortage of good roadworthy vehicles in the country, while some may settle for second-hand vehicles, which will likely come with problems that are expensive to fix.
A huge demand for coal trucks, what everyone is calling side tippers, and that's because of the way in which they offload the coal. A huge demand for that type of truck. And obviously, there's only a certain amount of trucks available, so there is a shortage. There is a fair amount of second-hand vehicles that are available, but the concern is whether those vehicles are in a fit condition to run. Why are they second-hand? Because some of them might have reached their end of life, so they really now need to be scrapped. I'm not saying all second-hand trucks are like that. I'm saying there's a fair percentage of that, I'm sure. And then, of course, the older the truck, the more you need to maintain, and in some cases that's why people get rid of the trucks. They become far more expensive to maintain.
On the other hand, the increasing usage of trucks puts pressure on the road infrastructure, leading to further problems.
The road infrastructure cannot be able to carry the number of trucks that are going to other provinces. Hence, we have seen quite a number of increase in accidents because the roads are narrow. And, drivers are impatient because of the long distance and the delay from the harbor, when they have to offload there. We've seen quite a lot of congestions of trucks standing on the queue to try and offload and come back. So the road infrastructure in South Africa was not designed to be able to carry that number of trucks.
The sector says elevated demand for coal has boosted the demand for its services to higher levels than before the COVID-19 pandemic. NAMSA says a lot of local assemblers are working together with their global partners to try and alleviate the shortage of trucks. The association says some of the trucks needed are imported to ensure that customers do get their stocks on time. Gloria Sefako Mosi, SABC News, Johannesburg.